All right, the art of swim by. This is going to be a dissertation, start to finish, of the whole shebang, the whole shooting match, right? So I want you to understand why we swim by, how we swim by, how to get dogs out of trouble and teach them during swim by, and make sure that you know and the dog knows that this is complete. Swim by takes me 3 to 5 weeks to complete, and that's doing it anywhere from 3 to 5 days during the week. Sessions are 5 minutes to maybe 10, 15 minutes. Dogs, the prerequisites, through force fetched, through T-pattern, running pattern blinds, lining pass, white pole blinds, disciplined casting, which if you haven't seen our disciplined casting video, make sure you check that out. And they should have a pretty dang good understanding of running a land blind. They aren't perfect at it yet. They don't need to be. And you don't need to go from T-pattern and land blinds and 1 year later start swim by. But I don't want to just go from T-pattern to swim by. I like to give them some chance to understand the concept of changing direction, stopping on the whistle well, and feeling pretty good about land blinds. It's kind of the art of everything in dog training. We do it on land, then we move it to water. We show dogs decoys on land, then we show them to them in the water. It's a no-brainer. So make sure our land blinds, pattern blinds, white pole blinds are pretty good. Give them a 70 on it. It's like my scores in college. Give them a 70 on it. Once they're at about a 70, let's start swim by, okay? This is a swim by pond. And in fact, the training property that we have here, that we lease in New York, has 2 swim by ponds, which is even better. Now you're gonna go, hey, Uncle Bob, I don't have a swim by pond. This is how we modify it. You're gonna look for a cove at one of your training ponds, state land, farm pond, wherever. There's gonna be a cove where you've got approximately a 15 to 20 yard swim and approximately 15 to 20 yards where you can cast them over. So you've got this shape here, right? You're gonna put your over pile over here and you're gonna put your back pile across the pond. And if you can see, you can use white poles. I don't on this, it doesn't matter. But we've got white bumpers on the bank, dogs can see them, and we've got white bumpers at the over piles, dogs can see them. We start with force to water. So the dog has been forced to a pile. That's because you've done all the steps necessary on T-pattern, right? So it understands when I say back, it needs to leave my side. So we're gonna force to water. Now you're gonna say, Uncle Bob, my dog loves the water. Why do I need to force it? Because it's a part of the process and I told you so. That's what my grandpa would say or something. Or me when my nephew's over, because I said so. I'm kidding. What the dog has to understand is some things, even if they don't want to do it, they have to do it, and the end result is positive vibes. It also gives you a tool in the tool belt when the going gets tough later in life. Hard, challenging water blinds, hard, challenging water marks, cold water during hunting season, something that is intimidating to that dog to do. This is going to give you the tool in the tool belt that says, I'm not sure of myself, but I know I have to. And then they overcome it and they become emboldened. So it's just, force fetch does the same thing. All of it kind of molds together of force isn't a correction. Force isn't negative. Force creates compulsion. And when they understand the compulsion, it creates positive vibes and they can overcome anything, but we've got to teach it. So I start out with just a back pile. So if you've got your cove, do that. If you can find a swim by pond or lease a piece of property that has something similar to this. Again, it's about 15 to 20 yards wide by probably 60 to 70 yards long, okay? So when I give my overs and cast overs, that's the distances people always ask. Bumpers are very visible. I don't care, stick a white pole. I'm gonna bring the dog out of the truck. All of it's set up. I'm going to establish the pile. 1 or 2 bumpers thrown to the back pile. I'm going to sit the dog at my side, back. As soon as they leave my side, I'm probably 10 feet from the water's edge right now, back, they leave, I go back, 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 dog jumps in the water, pressure's turned off, okay? Now they come back out. I'm gonna do it again, back, 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 back. Dog jumps in the water, pressure's turned off. The first few times that they do it, I've got a bumper in my hand handy. So they sploosh into the water. As soon as they sploosh, I toss it over top of their head and it lands, splashes near that pile or on the pile. And what that dog's gonna do is it's going to go, why am I getting zinged going into the water? And then they hit the water and then they get rewarded on the other side. You have to be careful with this because they're gonna start figuring this out and they'll hit the water and go, where's my bumper? So you just do it a few times. Cool, we good? Good. So we're forcing from our side, 2 or 3. Now they come out, I blow my whistle, they sit in front, face me, take my bumper, step to the side like we do on our mini tee, back. As soon as they turn and spin, back, 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 they jump in the water, pressure's turned off. They swim across the pond. Maybe that's one of those instances, I pop them a bumper on the other side. Cool, come over to here, back, 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 jumps in the water. Awesome. 3 days, 5 days, I want to see some momentum getting into the water. I want to see them trying hard to get in the water. I'm going to intermittently give them freebies. So they're not getting pressure every single time, but it's sometimes continuous. It's sometimes continuous, but in a momentary fashion. So zzz, 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 back, zzz, back, zzz, back, zzz, or back, back, back. Going to be zzz. Follow me? Kind of got to feel the dog out. Once I'm seeing some really positive vibes, give them a freebie or 2. No pressure going into the water. They go and get it, come on back, okay? Now, let's talk about sitting on the whistle in the water. Once I've forced them 3 days, day 4, and this is dog dependent, but let's just say for video purposes, day 4, I'm done forcing. I'm going to let them go in the water free. With the whistle set, I'm thinking off the top of my head. If I force to water, I will not blow the whistle. If I don't force to water, then I'm able to either blow the whistle or don't blow the whistle. But if I ever force, I don't blow the whistle. We're trying to build momentum to the pile, not stop the momentum to the pile, okay? Good little caveat. So, first day, we kick them loose. They go back to the back pile 2 or 3 times, just like we do on T-pattern. Now it's time to stop their butt. They jump in the water. They've been sitting on the whistle, excellent on land because you followed the ways I do it. Boom, they turn. Now they've got to tread water. Not a normal dog behavior. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop them a bumper. You've watched the video of me and Rambler doing the funsies where I get them to sit quick and pop it to them. Same concept. So he turns, he starts to look at me, and as he's looking, bloosh, pop goes the weasel. There's your bumper. And he's like, oh, dang, dude. Boom, grabs it and comes on back to me. Send him back, send him back, send him, stop him. Beep, pop the bumper. So now we're creating this like speed on the whistle because I get to go get a bumper. Cool. Once we get that light bulb moment, I'm going to do it 3, 4 times. That's day 1 of stopping on the whistle. Day 2 of stopping on the whistle, and remember, always build momentum to the back pile. 2 or 3 freebies all the way to the back pile. Now start stopping them. Let me back up. What could happen is now that you started stopping them, they're going to pop, which means they don't hear a whistle and they turn and look at you, or they could balk at going in because you've added a new step that's kind of wonky to them. If they do any of those things, go back to a little bit of your force to water, and when they do pop in the water, you yell back. Back! They turn and go, okay? Now, day 2, I've got them sit day 2 or 3, get them stopping and sitting and looking at me because they think I'm gonna pop it, and I've got the bumper in my hand. Pretend this is a bumper and not a SPR 51 Hundo. And I've got the bumper. Tweet, set, and they kind of start fading this way. I'm gonna fade this way. My body language draws them back to square up. Sit, 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 tweet, sit. Good, sit, back. And so the first time they do it where they're not getting popped a bumper, you're going to try and reward a little bit of patience in the water, bam, cast them. And it's almost like teaching a puppy place. The first time we're teaching a puppy place, they do it for half a second, pay them. then a full second, pay them, then 3 seconds, pay them, and then you get a dog that'll stay on the place board for 30 seconds. Same idea as this. The first day, I'm just trying to get them to do a little bit of dancing, treading water, back. Day 2 and 3, I'm gonna make them kind of sweat it out a little bit and figure this out, back. If they turn and spin away, blow your whistle. No, sit, good, here, good, no, sit, good, here. Just get them to sit, tread water, sit in the water looking at me, okay? Back. Now we've got cool. Dog sitting on the whistle pretty dang good, might take 3-4 sessions. Casting them straight back, right backs, left backs, straight across, front sit, cast back, boom, there's your 10-minute session. Now, we're gonna teach the over pile. So you send them, we're gonna give a left over. Now, what would they maybe do? Turn and do a left back. Immediately blow your whistle, no, over. And at that point, I'm going to pitch a bumper to that over pile. Bing. Seems like an easy idea, but that's how we'll do it. So now I cast them over to it, pitch it to them, they see it, they swim. During that, my hand is out here and I'm walking down the line with the dog halfway in the pond, swimming down to go get his bumper. Over, 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 over. He picks up his bumper. I'm right here. Beep. They sit, let them take a deep breath. Good dog here. All right. So I'm not staying over here and then they cheat all the way back. I'm meeting them over there. We're gonna do that for day 1. Day 2, we're gonna do the right. If they balk at it, pitch them a bumper to the pile, right? No brainer. And then you follow them over there, stop them at the bank once they get the bumper in their mouth. Remember, we've taught this stuff at disciplined casting. They're comfortable having the bumper in their mouth and hearing the whistle and stop sitting and not dropping it or picking up 5 different bumpers. Pick it up. Meet them over there, call them back. Money buddy. Now we're going to go and try and do the whole kind of deal, right? Where I don't have to cast this way and throw a bumper. They're doing, in essence, T pattern on water. Pretty good. Whew. This is hard. This is a lot of info. Now it's time to kind of start teaching that swim by art. So once I've got them crushing it going this way, I am going to immediately run around the bank over there. When they pick up the bumper, they're going to hear a whistle. They're going to sit, and now I'm across the pond. Okay? I'm going to encourage them and make them get in the water. They are not allowed to cheat and run all the way around and come to me. So if they do that, you run back around, catch them, put them back over there. You run back here, call them back through it to you. You can try and stop them and cast them into the water, all that stuff. But if it doesn't work, you need to put them back over there, go back over here and call them across the pond. Okay? So this is how we're teaching that swim by. I got them going leftovers. I got them going right overs. We're doing really well. I cast over. They're making progress to that thing. And I book it this way. After probably 2 sessions of me running around the pond and getting them to turn around and come straight across this pond in the center, not in the water, but running down the bank in the center of the pond, do it right. That's when I'm going to start my actual casting and swim by. So cast them left over, follow them all the way down, stop them, cast them back into the water, and they better go bloop and start swimming down the center. If they start swimming towards me or swimming towards the back pile, beep, bring them back in, or beep, cast them back out. Here's the trick. If they come in at an angle towards me, I'm going to stop them, right? They're doing this. I'm going to stop them and give them a left back. They will correct themselves going this way, beep, over. If you try and do a right back, they're going to, 99% of the time, they're going to continue making progress towards the bank. If you unwind them, they will go back out to sea, and that's what you want. They have to understand that the center of that pond is where they belong. And it takes, this is where it really starts like adding days to it. So when I said it takes 3 to 5 weeks, the first few days are like 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. And now this is the part where it's like, we're putting some work in. Okay, casting across, I might have to do 1 or 2 where you unspin them and cast them. They get to that pile, tweet, good dog here. I'm gonna work on that for a few days where I'm now not battling them coming in or going away from me. They're swimming across the channel, nice, nice. This is I'm gonna take a second. The reason we do swim by is to teach them the rules of the road in water. How to get in properly, how to stay in properly, forcing them in so that they know they have to go even if they are scared or don't know or unsure or it looks intimidating. And then the art of when you're doing like things like de-cheating or channel blinds, or they return from a mark and they try and cheat the bank back. You have this tool of swim by, or they try and get out early and like square the bank and get out early, beep, cast them back into the water. This is where we teach that. So this last piece of swim by, I've got a dog that will stop and tread water nice. I've got a dog that can do my leftovers and right overs, and most people stop there. That's about 80% of the way. We want 110% of the way. So now, once I'm crushing it, I'm going to cast him over. He's gonna get his bumper, and I'm going to discipline cast him away from the pond. They get a little wonky at that, but you just get him 10 or 15 feet away from the pond, stop him, and then we're going to give an overcast into the pond. And typically there's like a window of no pressure, and then there's a window of pressure, and it's a feeling, not a rule. I'm probably gonna teach it the first time, but then I'm gonna put a little zing zing in their ting ting. So I cast them out, cast them in. What are they gonna do? They're gonna cheat. I'll bet you my truck. So they run the bank this way, or they run the bank that way. They don't jump straight back into the water. So blow your whistle, discipline cast them to the infraction point, cast them back into the water. They're gonna do it wrong again. Discipline cast to where they made the mistake, stop them, cast them into the water, and they're gonna go, I think he wants me to get in the water. Bloosh. And then you do your whole thing, casting across. On this pond, the beauty of this pond is we have 2 swim by ponds. So I'm gonna cast them onto the dike, cast them into the other pond, and make them run out, okay? So when a dog is done with swim by, I'm able to apply pressure to get in from straight up backs and from my side, and I'm able to apply pressure on an over and have them jump into that pond and swim across it like a good dog. And so what they're doing is understanding, if I get a whistle blown and feel a nick and I get casted into the water, it means get your butt back into the water and stay in the water. So you're building this foundation of being able to do de-cheating where the dog understands and has repercussions and can get themselves out of trouble and then be successful. You're teaching them how to tread water and not fade and be all over the board and off their line. And you're using a drill to teach, instead of just going, he knows land blinds, let's go do a water blind, and they don't know any of these tools, and you're fighting a big battle, and dog doesn't know, you don't know, everything's a mess. So that's why we do swim by. Those are the steps. Those are the things that it takes a while to get done. It takes a while for you to maybe figure out how you can do it. Let's go back to the cove example real quick. If you have that cove, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna cast them to the one side, make them get out and cast back in, and then cast out to sea into the pond. And then you would go around to the other side and run it backwards, right? So just because we don't have a square doesn't mean I can't cast a dog out into the center of the pond and have them be comfortable with it, right? So swim by, probably one of, besides force fetch and T pattern, to having a beautifully well-finished dog that can go and compete at high levels, that can hunt at high levels and understand the rules, swim by is super, super, super important. So hopefully that dissertation was real helpful so that you and your dog can be successful when you tackle the swim by.